Hello Queen Bee readers, my name's Polly and I run LEEP Accountants, which is an accountancy firm based in Peterborough. And Kath asked me to do a little video just to help people who are starting off in business. So I thought I'd include a few tips of the trade to help get you started. So you've decided to start your own business. And it could have been driven by a great idea that you had. It could have been just driven by you're fed up of your current work. Whatever it is, you've decided to start your own business. So now, what next? First thing is you need to decide on the right business structure for you. All too often, we take on clients who have started a business structure, usually a limited company, and they realise that actually it's way too complicated for what they need and they should have started either as a sole trader or even as a partnership. But nonetheless, we can fix that. So hopefully we can show you the things that you need to do when you start your own business in terms of the processes that you need to follow and the things you need to watch out for. First thing is we always recommend you keep on top of your finances. Record your income, record your costs, and keep all of it in one simple place. It could be a spreadsheet such as Excel, or it could be a little bit more of a sophisticated accounting system or bookkeeping system, whatever you might call it, such as QuickBooks or Xero. And it's a lot more affordable than people think. So for example, QuickBooks, it's £5 a month, which can help save you a whole bunch of headache later on the year when you need to do a tax return or set up accounts. So this system, sticking with QuickBooks for now, this system will allow you to send invoices out to any customers, it'll allow you to link to your bank, and it'll allow you to record and take pictures of all of the receipts that you might have. So instead of shoving them all into a box and ignoring it for a year until you need to do your tax return, why don't you take pictures of your receipts as and when you go, and you'll have a real-time view of how well your business is doing so that you can budget appropriately. Again, sticking with QuickBooks, there's an app and there's a laptop version. On the app for your mobile or smartphone, you can do things like sending invoices, and you can even see when your customers have opened those invoices and when they've been paid. You can track your mileage for business miles. You can allow your accountant to see your performance and give you that real-time advice. And it'll also allow you to take the pictures and auto-categorize them, because it learns as it goes. So the things that we always recommend you do is select a separate bank account for your business transactions. Now, if you're a sole trader, you don't necessarily need to have a separate business bank account, but you should always have a separate bank account that you designate just for business transactions, and try not to intermingle. So if your son needs a haircut or you need to book a holiday, use it out of your own personal bank account, and if you need money, transfer it out of your business designated account to your personal account before you use it for personal use. Make sure you're claiming for all business expenses, because at the end of the day, the lower your profit by increasing your business expenses, the lower the tax that you're going to pay. So keep all your receipts in both, not necessarily both, but in soft copy, and if you're not completely confident yet, keep it in hard copy also. Now, for mileage, if you travel in a car, each business mile is worth 45p a mile, and even cycling to and from business meetings or for work is worth 20p a mile. You can recognise things like home office costs, the increased cost of your electricity, water, gas by working at home, and then keeping track of all of your other business expenses using something like Xero or QuickBooks. In terms of tax deadlines, If you've traded as a sole trader between April 2019 and April 2020, then you have until the 5th of October to tell the taxman that you need to do a tax return. If you do a tax return, which not many people do these days, then you've got until the 31st of October to submit and send that in. If, like the rest of the population, 95%, 99% of the population, you do your tax returns online, then you've got until the 31st of January to do and submit that tax return online. Be careful about making sure you do them, because there will be a late filing penalty automatically applied of £100 if you don't file it on time, and then it ramps up quite rapidly along with late payment penalties if you don't pay the taxes that you owe on time. So we always recommend that for each £1 of income that you get in through the door, put 20p away in a separate bank account. You could even call it a savings bank account to save for this tax that you know is going to come down the line. So a few tax tips, making sure that you're recognising all of the allowable costs. So a very quick quiz. Of these costs, which do you think are allowable for business? Petrol costs, mortgage interest, an iPad that you might use partly for work, some John Lewis vouchers or a spa day. What about parking when you go and see a client? What about a hairdressing tunic if you work in a salon? You've spent something for a business purchase but you've lost the receipt? What about a business suit that you only use for work? A donation to charity? Or you've met a client and you're having a spot of lunch? So it might surprise you, but these are generally all allowable business costs. Now the green ones are only allowable if you run a limited company, but these blue ones you should keep track of, because all or a proportion of it will be an allowable business cost. Now these ones, let me move my face there, over here, are not allowable. So if you've got a parking fine because you overstayed your parking duration when seeing a client, not a allowable business cost. A business suit, even if you used it entirely for business or for going to work, is not an allowable cost. And also client meetings for bella pasta or having a spot of lunch, although you can put it through your business, the taxman won't give you tax relief for it. Now next, so I thought I'd share some commonly missed tax deductions. So home office expenses we talked about. Make sure that you claim and record all of your business mileage. Don't forget that even cycling to work is worth 20p a mile, and each passenger, so you might pick up a colleague on the way to a business meeting, each passenger is worth an additional 5p. So if you travelled in your car with 4 passengers, then each mile is actually worth 65p. If you use assets for your business, make sure that you keep the receipts, because you can claim what's called capital allowances, which helps reduce your taxes. If a family member, spouse, children, aunt, who works for your business, make sure that you tell your accountant about it, even if you pay them cash, because that can help reduce your tax. If you've got missing receipts, then the HMRC guidance is to recreate those receipts to the best of your ability, detailing how much you paid, who you paid, the date, what you paid for, and how you paid for it, supported with bank statements or even credit card statements, that kind of thing. If you contribute into a pension, that is a very good way to save tax. And if you pay for a charity donation, even if it's for a friend or a family, then these can also help save tax as well. So that's it. If you have any questions whatsoever, then feel free to give us a call and we'll be more than happy to give you advice and to look after you. Thanks for listening.